The beautiful thing about this one is its materials are basically centered around bamboo.
This episode of Boing Boing is made possible by WEPC.com. I'm here with Rob from Boing Boing Gadgets and Peter Clark, who's a senior designer with Asus. Peter, we were just talking about WePC, this whole crowd-designed PC campaign. What are we looking at inside this case?
Well, WePC is a bit of a crowd design collaborative effort, but I suppose this is the other end of the spectrum where we've kind of, as a design team of Asus, we're trying to put our own sort of idea of what we think computers are going to look like in the future. So this is kind of our vision for what's going to happen in the next few years.
So you get all the data from the crowd, and then that comes to you, and you figure out how to parse that into something you can actually build.
Yeah, that's right. It's we have to do a bit of kind of mixing and blending and trying to find out what will work. A lot of design is about compromise, so sometimes we have to choose features and find which ones are the most powerful and select and somehow take out the ones which are not so powerful.
Are these basically conceptual works, or do they have any reasonable hope of ever being products?
Well, Rob, they do have hope of being products, yes. There is some, I suppose, what you can call an artistic license in there. We have, I suppose, as designers, we're sort of looking into the future, and a few factors we can't fully control, like in these concepts where we put in the OLED screen, which is a very light, thin type of display. So we've put that in, and that is a variable that we cannot control. So it's a technology that we'd like to implement, but we can't say for sure if it'll be ready in time.
You talked about compromises before, and there's the interplay between the conceptual side and the side which is directed by what's possible technologically. How does that balance work into the creative process?
It can be a very tough trade-off sometimes. We want our computers to be powerful, but we also want them to be thin and light. So sometimes they work against each other. So part of the process will be at the beginning. We'll sort of say, we realize that this computer is going to be something that's going to be for light users, so it doesn't need to be so heavy and powerful. So we can make it a smaller form factor. So we try to work out at an earlier stage what the computer is going to be like, because it just affects it so fundamentally.
What is WePC all about?
Well, as you know, Asus and Intel have created WePC.com. It's a place where users can come to submit their ideas, their concepts, and inspiration of their ideal PC.
Brian, are there any examples that you can think of offhand that were particularly wacky or interesting, or that you felt like could be kind of cool?
A lot of the cool ideas right now are, waterproof notebooks, dual touchscreens, touchscreens that are keyboards. We have wireless USBs, PC glasses, and future-proof notebooks where you can constantly keep on upgrading your products.
The internet culture we're all part of wouldn't be possible without the evolution of personal computers. Asus and Intel want to hear your ideas for what's next. Come join us in making the world's first community-designed laptop at WePC.com.
This is Rob Beschizza with Boing Boing Video, and we're here with Cher Kronis with Asus. And we've talked a little bit about the things that Asus inspires, and Asus has got a new tagline. What is it?
Inspiring innovation and pursuing perfection.
So what is it about Asus that means that only it can do that?
Well, our company is based on inspiration by others, and we are the latest and greatest in technology. A lot of our computers and designs are things that nobody's ever seen before. And speaking of which, a lot of the different products that you see in our display here at CES use different types of materials and different types of, I would say, form factors that have never been seen before.
So this is the 11-inch bamboo modeled on the U2E, which was an award-winning model from Asus. And the beautiful thing about this one is its materials are basically centered around bamboo, which is not a normal thing to make a laptop out of. So, I mean, is it just like executive jewelry? Does it have like any power to it? Is it as good as you'd expect a notebook like this to be?
Oh, of course. So it is modeled after the U2E, which means it has an Intel processor inside. It's got the fully fledged keyboard. It's got, great graphics. It's fast.
Netbooks have one big flaw. They don't have optical drives. But this one does.
This particular model is the first one with an optical drive. It has all the features of a regular EPC, portable form factor, but it also includes high definition. So you're going to get the full multimedia experience in the small little mobility style.
It's not all about netbooks. Really, it's not. So we're going to look at this, which is like the E-top, and this is a touchscreen desktop EPC.
This actually operates either with a stylus or with your fingertips, so you can pretty much touch anything and open any screen.
The specs aren't that great. Is it going to be like enough for most people to use as their main machine?
Well, surprisingly enough, when the EPC first came out, people thought that, that limited functionality computer wasn't going to be enough, but it was such a great hit. And I think it's the same thing with this particular product. It's fully functional, it has everything you need. You can chat, you can play games, you can do anything you need to.
If I said to you, I kind of think that the HP Touch Smart might be a bit better, what would you say about that?
Well, the HP Touch Smart is a lot more expensive, number one, and it's more for, I would say, intense multimedia. It's an overkill machine. This is more for people who want to incorporate this into their digital lifestyle.
This handles email, browsing, the personal, home stuff like word processing, the good old-fashioned computing that we were always promised, but it doesn't handle things like high-def media, high-def gaming, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. It has little types of features, like you could even write with your fingertip, which is an excellent little trick on here.
Booga, 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 booga.